Hey, welcome back to an all-new Season 7 of the MindShare PodCast. This is where we share strategies and insights to help you work smarter, build stronger relationships, and create the success that you deserve. This show is proudly sponsored by Kit's Keep in Touch Systems, your ultimate marketing and lead generation CRM. REM Real Estate Magazine, Canada's trusted source for real estate news and insights. And Revel Realty, redefining real estate with bold marketing, cutting-edge training, and a culture that empowers success. Learn more about our sponsors and download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle at mindshare101.com. And while you're there, discover how our full range of services can help take your business to the next level. From one-to-one coaching for personalized growth, to the MindShare Collective group coaching for community-driven success, momentum training to build unstoppable progress, and keynote speaking to inspire and motivate your team. We're here to elevate your game. And while you're at it, learn more about joining the revolution to experience the bold new way real estate is being redefined. Today's episode is number 316. And today, we're diving into your ultimate game plan for 2025 to help you start strong and stay consistent this year. Now, I have to start this brand new season by saying, wow. Like, I seriously can't believe we're already in Season 7 of this show. 7 years of this journey. Weekly episodes totaling 316 to date. Hundreds of thousands of downloads. And listeners tuning in from all over the world. And that's all because of you. I'm truly humbled, and I am beyond grateful. The support you've given the show, whether you've been here since episode 1 or you've just recently joined, it means the world to me. Every week you're here, you're engaging, you're sharing, and you keep this show alive. You are the reason that I keep showing up. So sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being part of this incredible ride. I am super pumped to dive into another season, and it is going to be a hell of a ride. So let's get started. All right, listen to me closely here. If you're still planning, you're behind. Planning season ended in December. January 1st is come and gone. It is execution season. It's time to stop thinking about what you want to do and start doing it. It's time to put in the work. And here's the thing. Too many people get stuck thinking, they get stuck planning, they get stuck tweaking their goals. They need to have everything perfect before they start. They want the perfect plan, the perfect process, the perfect system before they make a move. But you know what happens while they're chasing perfection? The people who are taking action are blowing past them. And that's because action beats perfection every single time. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be in motion. You need to be doing. You can fix it as you go, but you've got to move first. And look, obviously we all want results, but results come after the work is done. You can't control results. You can control your actions. Did you make your calls today? Did you send those messages? Did you have those conversations? That's where your energy should be focused, not on results, but on actions. Stop chasing motivation. Start chasing momentum. See, motivation fades. It comes and it goes like the weather, but momentum? Momentum builds on itself. Momentum is what happens when you show up every day and take small actions, even when you don't feel like it. So I want you to start tracking your daily wins. And I don't just mean, one win for the day, but I mean all of them. And this is where the concept of stacking wins comes in. Like, I don't care if it's a small win, I don't care if it's a big win, write it down. You made 5 calls today, write it down. Sent 3 DMs today, write it down. Posted on social today, write it down. Read a book today, write it down. Went to the gym today, write it down. Every win counts. And if you're thinking, Yeah, but like, I don't really have any big wins right now. And I remember a coaching client that said that to me one day. Well, you actually turned it around like, nothing to be grateful for, but like no big wins. That's kind of in the same boat. How? I don't believe it. I don't believe it for 1 second. Now, if you say that to me, I'd say forget about big wins. Focus on small wins. See, because small wins stack into big wins. And then those big wins lead to momentum. And then the momentum leads to results. So your action step here is to start with the win tracker, okay? Start an actual win tracker, like something you could track all of the little wins you've got. Now, my coaching clients, you get this as part of your resource center. You know that. I know that. I want you working with it every single day. So just here's your little nudge once again from me saying, hey, make sure you tapped into that today. But for those of you that are not working with us yet, you want to have somewhere you can track these wins. It's funny, I've got one particular client, him and I always use this Rocky analogy, or Rocky the boxer, right? And I don't remember which movie it was, okay? Might have been Rocky 4 or something, but he's training to fight Ivan Drago. And I remember him out in like Siberia training or something in the snow, in the cold, and he's in that barn, that cabin. Anyways, I remember something like there was like a scene where he's taking the knife and he's kind of like marking into the wood, one day. And then he marks into the wood like the second day. And then, you get to 4. And then when you get to 5, you put that little cross through it. And it marks 5 and he started again. And it's like it's tallying up how much is getting done. So whether you've seen the movie or not, you can kind of visualize what I'm talking about, right? Anyhow, me and my coach, we always sort of reference it that way, where we're just tracking the day. And that's really what I'm saying here, starting a win tracker and using it daily. See, every day you want to track every single action that moves you forward. So instead of just tracking the day, now what you're going to do is you're going to track the action. Calls made, DMs sent, meetings booked, emails followed up on. See, it's not just about the one big win. It's about all of the little micro wins that you stack throughout the day. And then from there, you watch how quickly you go from feeling stuck to feeling completely unstoppable. So I wanted to acknowledge that. I wanted to kind of, talk about the fact that the time for planning is over. Action wins every single time. Now, as you know, on these solo episodes, again, I know I tell you this all the time, so if you're a regular listener, you're prepared for this, but if you're not a regular listener, I just want you to know that little sip of coffee break, was brought to you by MindShare 101. Okay, sorry. When it's just me, the mic, the camera, in the studio here, things can get a little bit carried away. It's like if I've got a guest, somebody keeps me roped in. Anyways, having fun. Come on, it's the new year. We've got to have fun. It's the MindShare podcast. We've got to have fun. Okay, speaking of MindShare, let's talk about marketing in 2025. Let's talk about what's in, what's out, and what you need to be doing. Because you know that I love helping you build MindShare, because MindShare equals market share. So let's get real. Let's talk marketing in 2025, because things are changing fast right now. First thing I got to tell you, online leads are dead. Dead. Gone. Finished. Here's why. 3 reasons, actually. I'm going to give you 3. Number 1, there is a major lawsuit happening right now in the U.S. with NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and it is about to change the game for everybody. They're talking 50 to 60% of the leads weren't even vetted. Like, nobody's even scraping them to see if they're real. They could be bots for all they know. Plus, they're reselling them like multiple times to multiple people. They're making lots of money, and people are getting, quite frankly, scammed. There goes trust. The second point here is that online lead platforms are changing more than ever for the worse. Okay, it's like throwing money into a fire, and the return on investment is slim to none. I've kind of like paralleled this to playing whack-a-mole. You go to the carnival and you hand the carny like $5 or $10. These days, like $25 for some stupid reason. But anyways, you hand them way too much money to sit there smashing on these things that are popping out of the hole, and you're trying to keep up with it. And like if you don't get there fast enough, they're gone. Ring a bell. The ROI is brutal. Okay, you could make so much more money taking that time that you were spending trying to chase random strangers who you don't even know if they're actual real people. They could be robots. You're spending that time there when you could be talking to your contact list. And the third reason here is because everybody is being bombarded with emails. We're being bombarded with text blasts. We're being bombarded with auto-generated AI messages. People are tired of it. They're tuning out. Like here, FYI, if you call me and I don't have your number on my phone and your name does not show up automatically, whether it's because it's in my contact list or because it's actually programmed through the, telephone company, network, whatever, and your name doesn't actually show up on my phone screen, I'm not picking up the phone. But why, Dave? It could be an important call. No, because most of the time when it's a random phone number, it's actually somebody trying to sell me a cruise or trying to sell me a vacation, or it's a language I can't even understand. Talk about being bombarded. We got to include the phone calls in that. And look how I'm scrubbing the phone. I mean, back in the day when your phone rang, you ran to pick that thing up. Now when the phone rings, I don't want to be bothered. If I know you, I'm going to pick it up. Obviously, if I'm not in a meeting or tied up doing other things, but, point is, I know you called and I'll get back to you or I'll pick up the phone. But if I don't see that number, just like the emails and the AI and the text, it's all just spam. We've learned to filter. We get it. So this is, again, when we talk about these 3 reasons why online leads are absolutely dead, well, there's your 3 reasons. And let's not forget, right? AI is making it harder for people to tell what's real and what's fake these days. People just aren't trusting the mass message anymore. But you know what people do trust? A real conversation with a real person. This is why one-to-one connections are more valuable than ever. This business has always been and will always be about exactly that. One-to-one connections. And when it comes to social media, I'm not saying it's dead. But I'm saying the way we use social media needs to change. DMs, direct messages, they are now one of the most powerful ways to build connections and to connect with new people. If you're not using DMs as a tool for real conversations, you are missing out a massive opportunity, okay? Here's the move. Don't just post and hope that people comment. Instead, DM them directly. And I'm not talking about copy-paste and scripts from ChatGPT, okay? I'm talking about real, authentic, human conversations. Start real combos. Ask questions. Show them you're human. People who don't know you are far more likely to respond to a DM than an email or a post. You don't need to buy leads. Your leads are already on your social media platforms. You just need to reach out and talk to them. Listen to them. So here's your action step. Every day, send 5 DMs to people that you're connected with. Not to sell, just to connect. Check in. Start a conversation. Ask them how they're doing. And track every one of those DMs in that win tracker. So again, you see a post that somebody puts up, you might hit like on it, and typically you might even comment on it in the comment section. Hey, take that and go into a DM. Send them the same message and watch the reaction. Watch the conversation that you get. So again, every day you're going to send those DMs and you're going to track them in your win tracker. Nope, didn't go anywhere. Just another commercial break from MindShare 101 as I take a nice sip of coffee. And if you haven't checked us out lately, mindshare101.com, be sure to do so. And of course, if we are not connected on Instagram, David Greenspan 101, as we talk about DMs and social media. All right, so why one-to-one connections will always be the foundation of this business? Well, I'm going to tell you why. See, if you've been in the business long enough, you already know, this totally goes without saying, but relationships win every single time. No matter how much technology we have, people will still choose to work with people they know, like, and, say it, trust. See, I don't care how slick your website is or how many followers you have. Relationships win every single time. And it doesn't matter how many followers you have or how good your social media looks. None of that matters if you don't have real, authentic one-to-one connections. This business has always been about people, and it always will be. AI will never replace authentic human relationships. People aren't looking for robots. They're looking for somebody they could trust to help them with one of the biggest financial decisions of their lives. Now, side note about ChatGPT and any AI, use it as your co-pilot. Collaborate with it. But do not make it replace you. Do not copy and paste. Don't share stuff you're not well versed in. Use it to brainstorm. But make sure it doesn't stop you from thinking and sharing your own thoughts and your opinions. Again, we don't want our people to lose trust in us. And here's the thing that most people forget. Our ability to build trust is our most valuable asset. And trust does not come from automation. It comes from connection. Think about it. Why do people hire you? Is it because of your website? Is it because of your Instagram feed? No. They hire you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. So your action step here. Every day, I want you to focus on 5 real connections. That could be calls, it could be texts, it could be DMs. Could even be in-person conversations. But they have to be real. Not scripted, not robotic, not AI generated. Again, track them in the Win Tracker. Watch how fast your business grows when you focus on people instead of on platforms. So, I took this opportunity in this particular episode, and typically speaking, when we've got a guest, right, we run a show, and the show usually runs somewhere around the hour. We've got somebody on the line with us. We've got a ton of questions for this individual. We try to pack a lot of information in there for you in a 1 hour kind of window. Now, I do recognize that paying attention for an entire hour sometimes can get a little bit difficult. I also know that if we're getting a guest on, and based on what kind of lengthy answer or short answer they may give, we want to ensure there's substance and there's a reason, there's a lot of value that we're delivering. And so again, from a time perspective, it takes time when you're in an interview to really get the real meat and potatoes that we want to get to be able to deliver for you, so you've got, again, that value. You've got those action steps. But when it comes to these solo episodes of mine, and I kind of jot down and I do my preparation, I guess I'll take a moment here to talk like work back schedule. And this is for anything we do, but I mean, here, how do we get to 316 episodes? How have we remained so consistent? How are we on season 7? First, again, I thank you. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for being here. I thank you for being my motivation, my inspiration. And of course, I thank my team. Without them, we just don't get here. We don't get here as efficiently as we have. I know I shared this with you once upon a time, but we used to factor in that it took us about 15 hours a week to produce this show. And obviously, again, small wins, tracking those micro wins, they add up to big wins, and then you get momentum. Now, we max out at 5 hours a week for this show. That includes preparation, that includes promotion, that includes recording, that includes editing, that includes more promotion, that includes syndication, all of it. So we've become incredibly efficient. Now, the key to remaining consistent in what we're doing very much is about creating a work-back schedule. So, again, recognizing when are we going to record the show? What time block is that? What time of the day and what day of the week? As well as when are we going to prepare for the show? So, again, when it comes to having a guest on the show, of course we source our guests and our guests source us, and we coordinate dates and we get their bio and we get their headshots, and at some point I begin to dig in. And I begin to prep my show notes, and I want to figure out who they are and what we want to talk about and what's the driving force behind this particular interview. So again, I can continue to provide value for you. Well, in this case, when it comes to these solo episodes, I got no idea how long they're going to be, because sometimes I could just get talking. But at the same time, too, I do try to obviously keep them a little bit shorter, a little bit more concise, a little bit more condensed for you, so that as we're having this conversation here, I can really get the points across that I want to get to you, these learning moments, maybe these motivational points, these little nuggets for you to think on, to percolate about, and then to hopefully put into action. And so in this particular episode, as I decided to myself, I said, it's the brand new year. It's a brand new season 7. Wow, still can't believe it. It's a brand new year. We got to get off, out of the gate, like full steam ahead. And as we sit there and we think to ourselves, what could I be doing more of? What do I want to accomplish? How am I going to do it? A lot of people at this time of the year, like right now as you're listening to this, they start doing their planning. We already talked about that off the top today. If you're there, you're late. I like the fact that you're thinking about it. I would have liked you to be thinking about it. You would have liked you to be thinking about it like 6 weeks ago. And that's something that our coaching clients can attest to. We got you going like beginning of November. We were talking about this. We took about 8 weeks to do this preparation. But for those that are going to try to slam this in the next few days at the top of the year, well, again, what I'm trying to do is drive home a message, not only that you're late, and kind of back that up by saying, look, what you want to do is not impossible. We still have time. I'm glad that you've shown up, so let's get going. But also talk about kind of some of the things that are going to and not going to work this year so that you're not throwing shit at the wall hoping something sticks. But instead you do have strategy. That's what today's really been about. Okay, this is the message I'm trying to deliver. So when we talk about the message, here's the final message off the top of the year. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Actions win every single time. You've heard me say it before. I'll say it again. Consistency beats intensity every time. You don't need to have one epic day of productivity. You need to have consistent daily action. Small, consistent wins every day will work out. It'll outwork talent. It'll outwork, it'll become your motivation. But it'll also outwork luck, okay? Because you're putting in the effort. Remember, progress beats perfection. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be the most consistent. See, it's not the most talented people who win. It's not the smartest people who win. It's not the lucky ones who win. It's the people who show up daily and do the work. The people who track their wins, stack their wins, and build momentum over time. This is your year to stay in action. Now, you already know what to do. There's no more planning, no more goal setting. It's time to execute. Start tracking every micro win, every call you make, every DM you send, every task you complete. Those micro wins are your fuel. So here's the key takeaway, okay? Track your micro wins every day. Focus on human-to-human connection. And stay consistent, even when you don't feel like it. This is how you dominate 2025, one day at a time. One action at a time. And when you stay consistent, everything you want will follow. It's go time. People, no more excuses. You've got this. So that's it for the first episode of Season 7 of the MindShare PodCast. I hope you're ready to hit the ground running because there's no more waiting, no more planning, only action. If you got value from this episode, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're serious about winning this year, start tracking your daily wins today. This is Season 7. It's our year. It's your year. Let's get to work. Until next time, keep building your MindShare. Happy New Year. Let's do this. You've been listening to the MindShare Podcast. Whether it's on one of your favorite podcast platforms or directly from my website at mindshare101.com. While you're there, explore how our full range of services, one-to-one coaching, the MindShare Collective group coaching, momentum training, and keynote speaking can take your business to the next level. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle so you can build more mindshare and earn more market share, as well as learn more about joining the revolution. For any inquiries, just get in touch with us today. If you've enjoyed the show, be sure to leave a review at www.ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. Connect with me on Facebook and TikTok at mindshare101 and on Instagram at David Greenspan101. I want to thank Kit's Keep in Touch Systems, REM Magazine, and Revel Realty for their continued support as sponsors of the show. This has been another episode of the MindShare Podcast. Thank you for tuning in.